Hi, I'm Augie DeAugustinas. As someone living with inclusion body myositis, I completely understand the inherent dangers of walking on uneven surfaces or in unfamiliar environments because of the risk of falling. For those of us living with myositis, falls are not only a serious risk, but even with no direct injury, they can be a cause of frustration and embarrassment. Consequently, preventing falls should be a top priority for each of us dealing with muscle weakness. There are many things that we can do to ensure a safer environment that will help minimize the risk of falling. However, in the event that we do fall, and we all know that eventually it will happen, there are certain techniques that we should know for getting up from a fall that will reduce our frustration and minimize the effort needed, especially if we're alone. Or, if we have someone available to assist, it is important to know how to correctly direct that person to help you get up so that you both don't end up back on the ground. The following videos were produced by the Myositis Association in conjunction with the Northeast Georgia Medical Center to show you ways to minimize the risk of falling inside and outside of your home. You may have already incorporated many of these common sense ideas into your lifestyle, but hopefully you will see one or two that you haven't thought of yet. Then in part 2, we will show you the proper techniques as prescribed by a team of professional physical therapists for getting back up from a fall that take into account the limitations of muscle weakness in our arms and legs. We'll also show you how to direct someone to assist you in getting up without making the situation even worse. We hope that these videos will help improve the quality of your life while living with myositis. As people grow older, the risk for falling increases with age, but for those who also suffer with muscle weakness such as myositis, that risk increases even more. Besides the inherent danger of the fall itself and the possible associated injury, getting up from a fall, especially when alone, can be much more difficult when compounded by muscle weakness in the arms and legs. Consequently, reducing the risk of a fall becomes very important and actually a smart and easy thing to do. Needless to say, one of the smartest things you can do is always carry your cell phone with you when at home or outside of the house. Make it a habit. If you are prone to falling, there are many things that you can do to the interior of your home to reduce the risk of a fall. For example, install a handrail in hallways to use for stability. It doesn't have to be ugly. It can be decorative as long as it is sturdy. Remove tables that may tip over easily if you suddenly had to lean on them. Be aware that thick throw rugs or runners on a hard surface can be a tripping hazard. Also be aware of the type of floor surface you walk on and the types of soles on your shoes. Rubber soles can stick and grab on tile surfaces, causing a fall, especially if foot drop is one of your symptoms. Establish resting points as necessary by strategic positioning of chairs or other stable objects. For example, take a dining room chair and place it near a travel area in case you suddenly need to stop and rest. Prevent clutter such as books and magazines from accumulating on the floor. They can be a tripping hazard. Bathrooms can be especially dangerous. Here are some important prevention ideas. Install grab bars in the tub or shower area and by the commode. Non-slip rugs should be used on tile and vinyl floors. And of course, always use a rubber mat in the tub or shower. When walking through your home or a friend's home, remember that the shortest route may not be the safest. Plan to use the path with the least obstructions that has the most level surface, even if it takes longer. And this applies to both indoors and outdoors. For example, you may want to go around the perimeter of a room rather than going directly through a room to avoid obstacles and clutter. Also ensure that you have adequate lighting throughout your home and in your yard. You are much more likely to spot a potential hazard if the area is well lighted. And speaking of outdoors, don't forget to remove or fix any hazards around your property. Have large cracks and uneven surfaces repaired on your driveway. Ensure exterior steps have handrails. And consider installing stepping stones on soft ground. Hopefully, we have given you some good ideas to help minimize the risk of falling in and around your home. A little careful planning up front can prevent a lot of aches and pains later on. Please watch part 2 of this video series to learn the best techniques for getting up from a fall and the recommended way to direct others to help you. Thanks for watching. If you suffer from muscle weakness or a disease like myositis, chances are that you will eventually experience a fall. In part 1 of this series, we discussed fall prevention and showed several ways to minimize the risk of falling inside and outside of your home. But sometimes, no matter how careful you are, a fall is just unavoidable. You will most likely find yourself in one of two scenarios. You are either alone or you will have someone available to help you get up. Let's begin with the recommended way to get up from a fall when no one is available to help. The first thing to do is allow time for your head to clear so that you can check yourself for injuries. Don't ignore obvious signs such as sharp pain or blood. If necessary, due to injury, call for assistance. Hopefully you remember to carry your cell phone. If you have determined that you are okay and decide to get up on your own, look around for the nearest stable object that will support your weight. If on your back, roll onto your stomach to get on all fours. Or, as an alternative, scoot on your bottom sideways or backwards towards the stable object. For example, let's use a heavy chair. Once you are able to make your way over to the chair, place one or both arms on the surface and push down to lift up your upper body. Walk your knees in so that they are under your torso, and continue until you are in an upright position. Once your bottom is as high as the seat, just rotate your torso, turn, and sit down. If the only suitable object nearby is a wall, you can still use it to your advantage. After crawling or scooting over to the wall, walk up the wall with your hands and bring your hips and legs up under you. If you are not able to use your arms in this way, you can lean against the wall with your shoulder and inch yourself up by leaning into the wall and bringing your legs up under you. But be aware, this can be difficult to do. If stairs are nearby, you can use them as well. If you are able to crawl or scoot to a set of stairs, place one arm at a time on the farthest step that you can reach. Once your arms are in place, walk your feet up under you and slowly stand up. Once you understand these principles, the same basic techniques can be modified as necessary for use with other objects, such as a sturdy table, a walker, or even a scooter. When outside of your home, or if no object is available for leverage, here's a recommended technique that you can use to get up by yourself. But be advised that it may seem awkward to use and it will require at least some available leg strength. As always, first check for injuries. Remember to call for assistance if at all possible. If you are not injured, roll onto your stomach to get up on all fours. Then, very carefully, bring one foot up under your hips while maintaining balance with both hands on the ground. Slowly bring the other foot towards your hips while keeping a wide stance to help with balance. Slowly walk your hands back toward your body until you can place both hands on your knees. Then walk your hands up your legs until you are fully upright. Many times we are fortunate to have someone with us or at least nearby. If you find yourself on the ground after a fall, you will be in the best position to decide if you can get up by yourself or if you will need some assistance. However, if the other person points out an injury that you are not aware of, then allow that person to either help you up or call for more assistance. First, check for injuries. Don't hurry. Ask the person with you to look for any obvious signs of injury or bleeding. If you decide that it is okay to get up, tell the other person to only do what you direct them to do. People often hurry to grab your arm to help you up, but that can lead to both of you falling and possibly making the situation worse. The person assisting should always remember to bend their knees and keep their back straight as they lift to protect themselves from injury. If you are okay to do so, roll onto your stomach to get on all fours. Tell the other person to do the following. Place their hands on the waist of your pants, either on the belt or the belt loop. In the event that you are not wearing a belt, the person assisting should place one hand at your waist on available clothing and one hand in front at your chest. To begin standing, slowly walk your hands back towards your legs. Tell the person assisting to lift up with both hands on the belt, or in the case of no belt available, lift up with the hand in front and the hand at your back at the same time as you continue to walk your hands back towards your legs. A fall can also occur at any time, even while we were away from home. Naturally, the initial steps are the same. Check yourself for injuries, and if possible, call for assistance. Since a fall can occur anywhere, check your surroundings for available objects that you can use for leverage. For example, in a parking lot, you can use a nearby parked car, or a light post, or even a tree. But caution, although shopping carts may be readily available, be aware that they are unstable due to their wheels. Call for help rather than attempting to use a shopping cart for leverage. Inside a store, help should be available, but if not, look for sturdy shelving or another stable platform to use to leverage yourself to an upright position using the techniques already demonstrated. Remembering these techniques will help you in recovering from a fall with minimum inconvenience and effort. Plus, knowing the proper way to direct others in assisting you will reduce the chances of you both falling. Please come back and review this video periodically to refresh your memory on these important techniques. Thanks for watching.